Okay, let's see what we got now. Say sound is working now. Sound, we got sound. Let me give it a minute. Okay, let me make sure everything's working properly before I go to Facebook. Okay. 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 Now I'm gonna restart it. We're gonna restart it on Facebook. We're just gonna go to weatherwise first. Make sure this is working. Alright, guys, we're gonna give this another go. Hopefully, you guys can see the radar on Facebook. Give me a second to share the video again. Now let me go to my live thing. Share the video. Hope it works this time. Let's make sure it's shared to Facebook. Let's make sure YouTube's working here in just a second. Alright, let's see if we can get this going now. Okay, sound's going on Facebook. The radar's showing on Facebook. Let's check YouTube. Yes. Yes. All right, we're gonna get those YouTube screen sharing. Okay. Weather-wise, yes. Sure, shares over. All right. So we're gonna look at the. Well, the alert's gone now. Yeah, the alert's gone. Okay, so there's nothing around the area. There's. Are you kidding me right now? No, the alert is still there. Why is it glitching? Or is it gone? It's gone. Okay, so the alert is gone. So let's look at the weather cam. I'm gonna full screen it on the has cam thing. So here's what it looks like here in Litchfield. Look at the color of the sun setting. American flag water tower. This is facing southwest. Um, Let me redo the live thing again on YouTube. Make sure it shows the radar. Okay, it's showing on YouTube. Is Facebook running? Yeah, it's running. So here's the camera on YouTube. It's facing southwest. There's the American flag water tower. You can see the sun setting. And this is facing down Highway 62 in Litchfield. So we're going to back out and we're going to look at Louisville. We're going to look at Louisville. So this is downtown Louisville on the has cam. This is Louisville. You can see cars coming into downtown. But this is downtown Louisville. You see cars going, trucks going in. Looks like semis trying to come into downtown. And let's look at Gage, Kentucky. Here's Gage, Kentucky, and the flatland. Well, it is. let's. Another beautiful sunset I just saw in Gage. Alright, let's look at Moorhead, Kentucky. Here's what it currently looks like in Kentucky. So this is in Moorhead, Kentucky. Yeah, the camera's moving. It looks like it's a little windy there. Don't know if y'all can see, but you can see the camera rocking. So it must be windy there in Moorhead. Um, and last but certainly not least, let's look at Pikeville over there in the over there in the sky. If you guys can see this right now, take a picture of this. If you live over, look at that. That is purple. It looks like a painting of a purple sky that Bob Ross painted on TV. Looks as pretty as a Bob Ross painting. Look at that. Now we're going to go back to weather-wise on both YouTube and Facebook. So we're going to go to radar. Let's get off the Litchfield weather cam. Now let's see if there's any warnings or watches around. Take that off. So let's look across the United States. There's nothing around here. There's red flag warnings up across Montana, up across Kansas, Nebraska, all the way up to the Dakotas. We go with the lag again. Okay, that's from earlier where that alert was. But while we're on the topic of warning and watches, let's we're going to show you what severe thunderstorm warnings look like. So this is in where is that at? It's in California. I just clicked on tornado warnings and watches, and I just ended up in California. Okay, then. So you just saw an observed tornado warning, which is dark red. So let's go back to home. Go back to home view. Composite again. So here's the difference of the weather warnings and watches that we have here on this weather thing I'm going to start using. weather-wise. So you see the light red or tornado. The light red is tornado warnings. That the light tornado warnings red are indicated as light red. Um, Observed tornadoes when there's a tornado confirmed is red. I mean, will be dark red. PDS tornado warnings will be purple, which means PDS is particularly dangerous situation. Tornado emergencies are purplish pink, sometimes full on pink. And let's look at severe thunderstorm warnings. Severe thunderstorm warnings, 60 mile per hour, is usually the baseline severe thunderstorm warnings, which is yellow. Damage threat considerable severe thunderstorm warnings are usually orange. They're also orange if they're also yellow or orange with black around the box if it's a tornado possible tag. And then we got destructive severe thunderstorm warnings, which is a dark pink. And then we got what they call an EDS, extremely dangerous severe thunderstorm warning, which is purple. That's going to get confusing to some people. And then we have flash flood warnings, which are lime green. Observed flash flood warnings are usually red. PDS flash flood warnings are purple, and flash flood emergencies are magenta. And I do this all the time, so people that's new here knows what color the bulletins are and what color and what polygons are what that joins the weather thing. So let's look at the outlooks. Let's look at the outlooks. Severe weather. We're going to look at probabilistic. We're going to look at day 3. So day 3 would be Thursday. There's a probability of severe weather expected across Iowa down to Oklahoma. Let's look at day 4, which is Friday. Possible severe weather threat across Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, and Missouri. Let's go to day 5, which is Saturday. Same areas, but it's a larger risk. Okay, let's look at the categorical. Let's go to day 1. So day 1, there is no severe weather. Yeah, there is. Day 1, severe weather. Weather is a marginal risk in California and a small marginal risk across southern Indiana. But all in all, it's all just general thunderstorms. Let's look at day 2. General thunderstorms around the Ohio River. Marginal risk of thunderstorms stretching from Texas, Oklahoma, western Kansas, western Nebraska, up to Rapid City, South Dakota, is at a marginal risk. Let's look at day 3. We have a level 1, which is a marginal risk, green. Then we got a level 2 yellow risk, which stretches from northern Oklahoma to Kansas, Nebraska, northwest almost to Minnesota. Let's look at the hail threat. Do we have any hail threats around our areas? No. Other than there's a small one across northern Indiana and southwestern Michigan. Let's look at day 2, which is tomorrow. Hail threat from Texas along the marginal risk severe weather zone. Let's look at wind. Day 1 on the wind, there's mainly a threat up across northern Indiana and northeastern Illinois. Day 2, wind threat from Nebraska all the way to South Dakota. Is there a tornado threat anywhere for anybody for today? No. Yeah, there is over in California. There's a 2%, which is green. Let's look at day 2. Is there a tornado threat for day 2 anywhere? I am looking. No. No. There is not. Okay, so let's turn that off. Let's go back to home. And we're going to search up. I'm going to pull up the National Weather Service. And we're going to look at their charts and see what they say. So I'm going to switch the HazCam tab out to the National Weather Service. We'll switch the tab over in just a second. Switch the screen share over. Come on. Looking to make sure it's switched on my screen. Yep, it's switched. Okay. So here's what the National Weather Service in Louisville says. Let's look at their weather stories. So it says the warming temperatures continue. Let low to mid 80s remain for the remainder of the week. Clear night skies will lead to cooler nighttime temperatures. Rain chances stay minimal, less than 20% until Friday. Here's 0 12-hour forecast. Tuesday night's winds are blowing south-southwest in the single digits. Tuesday night chance precipitation. There's none expected. No precipitation totals is expected as well. Low temperature will be in the 50s tonight. And the wind chills will remain in the 40s. And I gotta check one more thing here as it loops around. Wind gusts is in the teens. Yep, the wind gusts is in the teens. Okay, we're gonna go to the 12 to 24 hour forecast. Wednesday's high temperatures will be in the 70s. Daytime wind chill will be in the 60s for Wednesday. Wednesday's afternoon winds will be blowing west-southwest. Afternoon wind gusts will be in the teens to 20s. Chance precipitation, there's none expected in the next 12 to 24 hours. And precipitation totals remain across southern Indiana, north of the Ohio River, if there's any. So let's look at the. Let me back out. The what's it called? National forecasting charts. So it shows for today thunderstorms across Texas, Oklahoma, northern parts of Louisiana, as well as California, and there's wintry mix across Nevada, Oregon, and Washington. There's a thunderstorm chance across Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, West Virginia. Let's look at Wednesday, which is tomorrow. Thunderstorms again across the same areas, but includes Louisiana and Arkansas. Northeastern Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Virginia, West Virginia is in a general thunderstorm risk, along with Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota. Then we got a wintry mix across the northern parts of the Four Corner states, up to Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. And then we got fire weather, critical fire weather possible from New Mexico up to, what is that? Colorado up to Wyoming. And then we look at Thursday. Here's a look at Thursday. Thunderstorms from Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, Michigan. I'm sorry, Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota. Then severe weather across Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and Minnesota. Then a wintry mix across Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado, Idaho, and parts of Washington and Oregon. And I want to pull up something that I've been getting sent. I'm going to go to the. We're going to remain on the National Weather Service tab, but I'm going to go to the Storm Prediction Center because I've been seeing this from other weather spotters that go through this, and I'm going to look that goes through this, and I'm going to look at this as well. I want to look at day 7. Day 7. Is there not a day 7? Is it day 4 through 8 outlook? Day 4 severe weather. Okay. Okay, day 7. Hold on a minute. It just showed for Monday we're in a 15% probability of severe weather for Monday. But it's too early to y'all saw that, right? It moves into our area on Monday. So we could probably get some severe weather on Monday. But what the percentage it will be. Right now it's too early to tell. I can tell if they're not already issuing things, then I'm going to say more than likely it will probably be a marginal or slight risk. It'll be a level 1 or 2. More than likely. So let's look at the hourly forecast. Let's look at the hourly forecast. 69 degrees outside. It's going to drop down to the 60s. 64 at 11. 62 at midnight. 61 at 1 o'clock in the morning. 59 at 3. 57 at 5. 6. 7. 60 at 8. 64 at 9. 68 at 10. 71 all throughout the rest of it, up to 76 degrees. And of course, the feel like temperatures are going to feel like they're in the 50s. And maybe a little bit 60s. Is there any precipitation expected in the next hour? In the next few hours? No. Warning tones that you guys are hearing on the lives, those are warnings coming through on the weather thing, on the radar, the weather-wise thing. Yes, I only focus on the state of Kentucky, but unfortunately with this app we get warnings and watches for all 50 states. Sometimes I have to turn them off when they come in rapidly. I have to turn them off. So that's what you're hearing on the YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, unfortunately on WeatherWise we get warnings and watches for all 50 states. But I mainly cover Kentucky. I got to draw a line somewhere. So let's Okay. Now the next is our 7-day forecast. So today it was cloudy. Felt like 72 degrees. The high was 76, low of 46. Tomorrow mostly sunny, high of 78 degrees, low 57 degrees. Great day to be outside for tomorrow. Thursday cloudy, mild conditions, high of 80 degrees, low 56 degrees. Friday drizzle, high of 82 degrees, low of 60 degrees. Saturday light drizzle, high of 77 degrees, low of 63 degrees, 69%, almost 70% chance of precipitation. Chances of rain, 70%. Sunday, cloudy, high of 79 degrees, low of 57 degrees. Cloudy with mild conditions, and it shows for Monday light showers, 80% chance of precipitation, high of 69 degrees, low of 66 degrees with rain likely. Um, yeah, it's going to show light showers for now, but for Monday, but we all know between now and then it could change. But I think it's showing that because the storm threat, of course we're probably going to get some storms, but they say the chances of severe weather is a 15% probability. And usually with that, it's usually when it's usually in that mode, it can usually be a marginal risk or a slight risk. Marginal risk is, well, tell you what, we'll pull it up right now. We'll tell you what, we'll go through that real quick so everybody can see the difference between a marginal risk, a slight risk, enhanced risk, moderate risk, and high risk. We'll go through that real quick. Why don't we? So people don't get confused. Okay. Okay, we'll go through that for the people so people don't get confused. We'll go through that. I don't need that. No. So we'll go through this again. So here's severe weather risk, marginal to high, the 5 level scales, and I'm gonna tell you the colors too. Marginal risk, level 1, which is usually green, means isolated severe weather is possible. A marginal risk is the lowest level on the scale, but it's often misunderstood. Most storms will be weak or short lived, however, one or two storms may briefly become severe. And the threats usually with those are usually isolated thunderstorms, limited organization, brief heavy rain, gusty winds, or small hail. Here's A marginal risk doesn't mean nothing will happen. It just means severe weather is possible, but not widespread. It means it's isolated. Slight risk, level 2, which is normally yellow. Scattered severe storms. A slight risk indicates a higher chance of severe weather, with storms more likely to develop and organize. Scattered severe storms. Stronger updrafts. Potential for damaging winds or hail. Storms begin to show more structure. You may notice stronger vertical development and more defined cloud features. A slight risk can still produce impactful weather, but coverage and intensity varies. Enhanced risk. Now, this is somewhere in the middle, which is orange. Numerous and organized storms. An enhanced risk suggests that conditions are becoming more favorable for widespread and organized severe weather. What to expect? Numerous thunderstorms, increasing organization, greater intensity, and severe conditions. Which the threats, usually with that, is usually almost. Which means tornadoes, wind, hail. And then here we go. Moderate risk 4, which is red, a moderate risk. Widespread severe weather is likely. Moderate risk signals a significant step up in both confidence and potential impact. What to expect? Widespread severe weather. Why is this not showing? Well, we'll show it anyway. We'll go ahead and we'll show it. We'll switch it over. It's alright. I ain't going to be on it much longer for me to show the whole thing. So moderate risk means widespread severe weather, widespread severe storms, strong organization, increased risk of damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes, sometimes strong tornadoes. Expect large, well-structured systems with dramatic cloud formations and fast-changing conditions. This is a day to stay alert. Severe weather is likely, not just possible. And here's the monster of them all, the high-risk level 5 severe weather risk, which is normally purple. Major severe weather event expected. High risk is the most serious and rare category, which is also rare in our part of the country. Significant severe weather outbreak, also tornado outbreak. Long-lived powerful storms, high potential for tornadoes and widespread damage. And usually with those is tornado outbreaks, and you also get, that's when you also see tornado emergencies and what else? Tornado emergencies and PDS tornado watches and warnings. And that's it. Does anybody have any questions or comments on my lives before I go? On Facebook or YouTube? Okay, nothing on Facebook. Let's check YouTube. Nothing on YouTube. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close off the live stream, the lives on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back sometime tomorrow with another weather update. Y'all have a great Wednesday night, and I'll see you guys sometime tomorrow.